Hey yo, I'm back with another video, and today I just want to talk about something which is not exactly related to MMA, but I just think that this is funny, and that's the reason I wanted to talk about this. That is, Conor McGregor is in the White House. Yeah, I mean, if you would have said this to me maybe 4 years back, that Conor McGregor would be in the White House on St. Patrick's Day, giving a speech, attending to the press questions, answering questions from the American press, from the American journalists, and talking about the problems that Ireland is going through, I never thought that this would happen. Like, you could have never convinced me that Conor McGregor would be in the White House, shaking hands with the President of the United States. And it's a crazy timeline. Like, I don't know, like, all of this, it kind of feels like a skit from Simpsons. I don't think even the Simpsons were predicting this stuff. If they did predict that Conor was going to be in White House, then Simpsons is good. Like, I don't think you can predict, anybody could predict this. And I don't think he's coming back to UFC to fight. The next time we see, we might see Conor as the president of Ireland or something. We might see him do that. We might see him fighting for, we might see him competing in an election before we see him competing inside a cage for a fight. I think that is going to happen in MMA. Like, his return to the MMA, his return to the UFC would be with as a politician, not as a competitor, not as a fighter. He said a lot of stuff like, what is Ireland going through? There was some this, that. I don't want to talk about politics because I've not been to Ireland. I probably don't know anybody who's in Ireland. Probably I know one or two people who are in Ireland. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I just wanted to share this funny. I just found it funny that Conor McGregor is in White House answering questions to the American press about what is going wrong in Ireland. And a lot of people are saying that they don't, like, Conor does not represent the whole of Ireland. But a lot of things that Conor said in his video, well, I've seen a lot of other Europeans, a lot of British people also saying and sharing the same sentiment as Conor McGregor. Now, I'm not British, neither am I Irish, nor am I American, so I don't really know what is actually going on in there. But to each his own, it is their country, they can decide what is best for them. But I just found it funny. Apart from that, there was something about Bryce Mitchell and John Silva. And I don't know if that article is here, but I'll talk about something else. This is more important in my opinion. Bo Nickal explains why he asked for interesting Reinier de Ridder fight. I don't know why Bo Nickal asked for Reinier de Ridder, but I'll definitely talk about this because this, in my opinion, is more important than Conor McGregor showing up in the White House. That might be more important for the global political scenario, but this is more important for me as a UFC fan. Okay, as we all know, Reinier de Ridder, the Dutch Knight, is going to be fighting against the All-American Bo Nickal. I think he should be given the nickname of All-American or something, but then again, he's only seven fight in his career. So I think we can wait for the... But then again, he's also 29 years old. He's not a young chap. He needs to be... But I think his prime is like, 2 to 3 years left for his prime. I'm going to consider that he's going to be in his prime by the time he's like 32, 33. So still got like 3 to 4 years to get to his prime. In this, if we take it with 2 fights per year, so that would be like 6 fights. 7 plus 6 would be what, 13? So 13 fights and then fighting for a belt, I don't know. But I'm fairly certain that the UFC does not want to lose Bo Nickal, who's a star. The UFC is definitely suffering from a problem of not having any stars. And Bo Nickal, he comes with a, the people who watch Bo Nickal fight are the wrestling fans, and these people are mostly rich. I would say they're at least richer than me. And his fans are a lot of the, I don't know, like the, what am I supposed to say? The suburban people who are more into, who are sending their kids to some good school, but they're also really passionate about wrestling and fighting. So those are his audience. And the UFC wants that audience, because they are going to pay for the pay-per-view. I mean, of course, the UFC is trying to get rid of the pay-per-view and everything. I don't know what they're doing, but this is an interesting fight in my opinion. I can see Bo Nickal winning this. Reinier de Ridder, 34-year-old, former one championship fighter, one champion. He was the champion of one FC. He lost only to the guy that is Anatoly Malikin. Anatoly Malikin must have been on a lot of Mexican supplements. I mean, the dude looks like he is on Mexican supplements. And Anatoly Malikin is also the first three division champion of the world in mixed martial arts from a major promotion. But then again, his competitors, he defeated Arjun Bowler to get the heavyweight championship, and he defeated Reinier de Ridder to get the middleweight championship. In my opinion, Reinier de Ridder is not a good fighter. I don't think he can defeat the top five in UFC middleweight division. Who are the top five? Let me take a look at the top five. Okay. The number one ranked middleweight fighter in UFC currently is Nasruddin Imavov. Of course, Duplessis is the champion. I don't see De Ridder defeating Imavov. I don't see De Ridder defeating Sean Strickland, Hamzat. Definitely, he's not touching Hamzat. Can he defeat Israel Adesanya? I don't think so. I think Israel's defensive grappling is going to be better. So the only person that I can see Reinier de Ridder defeat is going to be Michel Pereira. I think he can definitely defeat Michel Pereira, or maybe someone like Roman Kapilov. But apart from that, like everyone in here, I think they can defeat Reinier de Ridder. Yeah, I mean, that's what I see. But can he defeat Bo Nickal? I just don't see him how he's going to defeat Bo Nickal. I know he has got good jiu-jitsu, but Bo Nickal was able to survive against Gordon Ryan for a good amount of time. And that's Gordon Ryan we are talking about, who's grappling, whose jiu-jitsu, I'm going to assume is 10 times better than Reinier de Ridder. That is what I'm assuming, considering Gordon Ryan is hailed as the best, is regarded the best no-gi submission grappler of all time. So I'm going to assume that if Bo Nickal can handle his grappling without any punches, without any kicks for a good decent amount of time, then I can definitely assume he can handle Reinier de Ridder's grappling. And look, Bo Nickal is also a wrestler. Like, he knows how to defend takedowns. How the hell is RDR going to take down Bo Nickal? That's what I'm questioning. Can he take down Bo Nickal? I don't see him taking down Bo Nickal, because I can definitely see Bo defending his takedowns. And if the fight does not go to the ground, I think that Bo Nickal is a better striker than De Ridder. I think Bo Nickal has more power than Reinier de Ridder. RDR. I'm going to call him RDR because it's just really difficult to pronounce his name for me. So RDR, I think striking-wise, I think Bo Nickal has better punches than RDR. I mean, Bo Nickal did defeat Paul Craig, and Paul Craig is definitely better than the fighters that RDR has fought in UFC. The last two opponents of RDR were Kevin Holland and Gerald Murcheret. GM3 gave a run to his, like, GM3 was pretty much winning that fight, I believe. Then RDR was able to get a submission. That was a really good fight. Then again, I did not watch that fight. I need to rewatch that fight. This is not a prediction video. I just wanted to talk about it. A lot of people are hating on Bo Nickal, but I think Bo Nickal can win this one. I'm not going to say that he will make it a really interesting fight and we will see Bo Nickal, knock out RDR in round one. But I think Bo Nickal will win this fight just like he won against Paul Craig. I think RDR might try to push the pace on Bo Nickal, but I don't think it's going to work against Bo, because unlike Kevin Holland, I think Bo has better grappling. And unlike Gerald Marcheret, I think Bo hasn't been, I don't know, like Bo then again, Bo hasn't really been tested by anybody. But then again, he defeated Paul Craig. Paul Craig, in my opinion, is better than RDR. RDR versus Paul Craig, now that is a fight I think Paul Craig should have, like, RDR's first fight in UFC should have been Paul Craig instead of Gerald Marcheret or Kevin Holland. But I am fairly certain that the UFC is trying to give RDR, I don't know, I don't think he's going to fight for the belt. He's not defeating anybody in the top 10. I don't see him defeat anybody in the top 10. Let me take a look at the top 10. Who's the top 10? Marvin Vettori. I don't see him defeat Marvin Vettori. There's no way he's submitting Marvin Vettori. And Marvin Vettori, after all the punishment we took from Ruben Delidze, I think he'll do some bad things to RDR. With his blockhead, there's no way he's knocking out Vettori, and there's no way you're submitting Vettori. Delidze, I think Delidze is also a good grappler himself, and I think he has definitely more power than RDR. Anthony Hernandez, decent grappler. I think he can hold his own when it comes to his grappling. Cannonier do some really bad things to RDR. Kyle Borralho, definitely better. I'm not even going to assume he's going to get a chance to fight somebody like Whitaker or Adesanya. And Chimaev will eat him up. for breakfast. So I think Bo Nickal is the best that he can get. What is his rank? RDR is ranked what? Number 13? Even Paulo Costa. I don't see him defeating Paulo Costa at this point of time. I just don't see him defeat Paulo Costa. Because Costa, again, has good grappling, defensive grappling. Definitely is better than him on the feet. So, yeah, I just don't know what to do with RDR. I don't know why the UFC is giving him Bo Nickal. Because if Bo Nickal loses this fight, then the UFC is going to lose a potential big star. You might not like Bo Nickal, but he definitely brings a good set of eyeballs. Yeah, I mean, but I think Bo Nickal is smart enough. He was smart enough to have a fight against Paul Craig where he did not take him down, which I think he could have. I don't know if you would have finished Paul Craig on the ground, but there is always a threat of Paul Craig submitting you on the ground, because that's Paul Craig has submitted Magomed Ankalaev and also Jamal Hill, and who else? He submitted Jamal Hill and Ankalaev, and I believe there is like a couple of other people that he has submitted. Whatever. But all I'm trying to say is that Bo Nickal is smart enough, and I'm fairly certain he's surrounded by people who are yes men, but also smart enough to make sure that he does not take this fight to the ground where RDR might have some opportunity to finish him. On the feet, I haven't seen RDR fight on the feet that much. The only fight that I saw of RDR was where he was running away from his opponent in 1FC. I think Bo Nickal is going to win this one, probably by unanimous decision. Again, this fight is going to look boring, but Bo Nickal will find a way to make this boring and yet win the fight. I mean, at the end of the day, that is what matters. Don't you think so? I think that is what matters at the end of the day. And I guess that's it from today's video. There's nothing much for me to talk about. I probably will make another tier list or maybe some ranking video next. But today I just wanted to talk about this fight because I think Bo Nickal is getting a lot of hate, which I don't think is necessary. Because there are fighters that we can hate a bit more than Bo Nickal. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Write me in the comment section what you think about this fight if it takes place, who you are picking to win this one, and also Conor McGregor in White House. That's really interesting. That's all I can say. That's really interesting. Subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers, and I guess peace out from today's video. Peace out.